B-Pod Studios.
This is Talkin' Rock. Talkin' Rock. Your backstage pass to some of your favorite rock artists. Here's your host, Meltdown.
Yes, we're back at it again. Another non-award-winning episode of the Talkin' Rock with Meltdown podcast. Bruce Dickinson, the legend from Iron Maiden, coming up here for you second. But first, another legend, Rob Halford, the metal god. I didn't even know who to put first in this one. I mean, they're both first as far as I'm concerned. But Rob Halford getting ready to tour with Judas Priest with Alice Cooper and Corrosion of Conformity, October 2nd at Pine Knob, if you're in the southeast Michigan area. We talk about a lot of things, including this tour, his friendship with Alice over all the years. Would he ever consider doing a Back to the Beginning type concert with Judas Priest? We talk about that, as well as his thoughts on the passing of Ozzy. I don't know if you saw this over the week, but we made quite a splash as far as rock news is concerned with Rob's thoughts on the passing of Ozzy and what he did when he heard that Ozzy has passed. So you can watch this interview at WRIF.com. And just so exciting to talk with the metal god. He's such a great guy. And I'm going to tell you this right now. There are rock stars a lot less prestigious than him who just jump off the line immediately as soon as they're finished talking to you. Not Rob. We talked for another couple minutes, and I think I could have talked for even longer. That's just how he is. He's just a nice guy. And one final thing before I get into Rob. One of my buddies retired from radio after about 45 years or something in Buffalo, New York, and he asked me if I could get something from Rob, you know, to bid him a fond farewell on his radio journey and his retirement. And Rob did it. He was in South Africa, and he did it. He recorded like this minute-long, heartfelt thing for my friend. It was so cool. That's just the kind of guy that Rob is. So I will always defend one metal god, Rob Halford, and he's on Talkin' Rock. You just asked me how I was, Rob, and I have to say, whenever I get a chance to talk to the metal god, it's always a good day. So,
what's up? Yeah, hey everybody, it's good to see you. It's your metal god once again, catching up on all things metal.
That's right, and you're in Phoenix. You know, you're coming to town with Alice Cooper. And I was wondering about this. Alice lives there too. Do you guys ever hang out? It never seems like I see any pictures of you guys hanging out or anything like that. Are you guys friends? Do you guys go out and have a cup of coffee or anything?
Yeah, he's my neighbour. I could just walk over to his house from here, which I wouldn't in this heat. You know, it's a little bit further than that. But we go back a long, long ways. I tell you what's so cool about Alice. Here's something I haven't really thought about forever. If you read my book, Confess, plug, I talk a little bit about, I think I do. I talk about this time when I worked in this is Spinal Tap, in a menswear store. Would you like a shirt? Would you like to tie to go with that shirt, sir? Well, at the time, Alice Cooper's School's Out, right, was like the thing. It was the song. And we used to play it in the store all the time. This is what I love about life, you know. You know, I've just been on tour with the guy for the umpteenth time. We just did some shows together in Europe, and we had a great show at the O2 in London, which is like the Madison Square Gardens of the UK. And I moved to Phoenix, and then I find out that he lives in Phoenix. This is like way back in the 80s. And then we have this great friendship through the Solid Rock Foundation and other stuff. And it's like, I'm still, you know, there are certain people that I'm still in awe of. I've not lost that. I'm a fan. I'm a fanboy. So even now when I'm talking with Alice, my brain's going, you're talking with Alice Cooper. You're talking with Alice Cooper. He's a wonderful, beautiful man. Does so many great things. But let's talk about his music, you know. All those records, all those songs. Such a strong performer, charisma like off the hook when you watch him. Even now, it's just unbelievable. So to get him and Priest and Pepper from COC all together on the same bill, this is just mad. This is an event. Yeah.
And Alice inducted you guys into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I was watching that. And first of all, he mentioned a couple of things I wanted to touch on. He said you guys are from Birmingham, which is like the UK's Detroit, which is where he came from, which is where I'm broadcasting from, right?
Totally. When I first came to America, I couldn't wait to get to Detroit just because of that connection. because of the blue collar thing, the hardworking people, the tough people, the people that will give you the shirt off their backs, all that great empathy and substance and solid community support. It's still there. It's still there. And Detroit is a surviving town. I was around when all the stuff went bad, and everything just like kind of went shaky. But now look at where Detroit is. It's thriving. And so it's a joy to be coming back to your part of the world again with this special tour and this special show.
And then Alice, he was inducting you guys. Did you know anything he was going to talk about? Did you have any inkling of what he was going to say?
No. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame people reached out and said, who do you want to induct you? And my first thought was Alice, and he's such a busy man. He's one of the hardest working people in rock and roll. I thought I'll just throw it out to him. And I think I sent him a text. I said, would you induct us? He goes, I'm on it. Tell me when, where, what time. That's it. That's him, So that's part of the Detroit thing that's in his blood. I had no idea what he was going to say. It was just a really special to hear those kind and generous words that he spoke out at the Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah, that was great. And congratulations, by the way, for that. I mean, obviously, long overdue. There's a lot of bands that should be in there. And I was talking with Glenn Hughes earlier today. His birthday is coming up at the end of the week. Your birthday is next Monday.
My buddy Glenn, he's another local guy. He's from a place called Cannock, which is not too far from my hometown, Walsall, which is so close to Birmingham. I tell you, all these great musicians that come out of the Birmingham scene, like the Detroit scene, full of all of these different textures of rock and roll. What a great singer! What a great singer! Did he tell you the story of me and him at the back end of the Queen Mary in Long Beach, going through so much blow?
No, you forgot to mention that story.
We were up all night. We did a show together, and we were up all night doing like rapping and just riffing and singing, and it was like going on till the sun was coming up. People we got to leave now. We've got to go to the next show. But what a voice, man! His voice is just so spectacular and unique. Love him so much.
Yeah, now both of you guys have been famously sober for a long time.
Yeah, that's what's so great about him, about Alice. So many people now, so many people, music. A lot of the younger musicians back in the old days when you'd pull up the bus, it would be like, "Where's the liquor store?" Now it's like for a lot of them, it's like, "Where's the gym?" I got to work out. Get the rack out of the luggage bay, and that's great. That's great to see that kind of willingness to live in the moment, enjoy the moment, love the moment. Love your music, love your band, love your fans. Keep it real, keep it healthy.
Yeah, that's great. So we're just talking about Birmingham, and of course, I mean, you guys were playing with Alice and the Scorpions, if I'm not mistaken, on the Back to the Beginning concert when that happened.
Yeah. Oh man, I got a call the day it happened. I just put the phone down in my hotel room I think I was in Leeds in England, and I just curled up in a ball and bawled my eyes out for hours. I just couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it now. I'm still grieving like so many people, and then we had a show the next day. So God, how do you process all of this tragedy, all of this love, because I've never seen such an outpouring of love. We did the show, and we came to this song that we'll be playing when we come to see you guys, called "Giants in the Sky" from the Invincible Shield album. And that song talks about people that we love in music that have moved on to this beautiful place. When we referenced. We referenced Lemmy and Ronnie and Paul Di'Anno and Jill Huntress and Chris and all of these greats, Janis Joplin, Freddie Mercury. And then for that show, we added Ozzy at the end, and I said to everybody, this is just so much to try and comprehend and so tough. But Ozzy would say, let's party, let's rock and roll, let's live it up, let's enjoy. That was in his heart, his soul, and his spirit, Whenever we did shows together, he would always say it to me afterwards, did you have a good time? Yeah. Did you have a good time? Did you really have a good time? Yeah. He was such, the stuff he pushed out from himself to his fans, to everybody, the generosity, the caring, all of the incredible things that he did in music. He was the embodiment of kindness in that respect. So it's great that we're talking about him now, and we should keep talking about him forever. Like I'd always talk about Ronnie, I talk about Lemmy. These are all friends of mine, and we have to celebrate. That's the way of helping you through the grief. You think about the memories, you think about the joy, you think about the good times, and that's what we will always do with Ozzy.
Yeah, and you guys were so great to cover that War Pigs. It was so awesome. Did you remember the last time you had any conversation with Ozzy, or last time you talked to him?
No, we used to text occasionally, because he's another guy I was in awe of, I'm still in awe of Alice.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it's Alice Cooper. And I just used to feel the same whenever I was in Ozzy's presence, because he had this larger-than-life personality. It'd been a while since we've been in touch. But again, I just have the wonderful memories of the two opportunities I was able to sing for him with Sabbath. And then this recent opportunity to cover War Pigs, which we still play at the start of our show, which is one of the greatest metal songs ever written. So that connection will never be severed in that respect.
Now, that final show, I was thinking about this before I was going to talk to you. I mean, you guys have had a 5-decade plus career. I mean, legends of the game, the metal god. I mean, everything. Has a thought ever crossed your mind after watching that Back to the Beginning show that maybe this should be something Priest will do someday?
When we had, the reason we couldn't do the show with Ozzy and Sabbath was because we'd committed to doing the 60th anniversary with Scorpions in Hanover, and Sharon called me and said, can we fly you in and fly you out? That's a great idea. But, what if the weather screws up or there's a technical thing with the plane? It's just too risky. So at the time that Ozzy's thing was going on,
I'm talking about doing a Back to the Beginning concert for you guys.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking about the 60th anniversary that will be for Priest in a few years' time. And I'm going to get there, brother. I am aiming for the 60th anniversary for Priest. But, hey, that's a really nice idea, man. I appreciate you thinking of that. I don't know. Maybe it's in our blood like it is with Sabbath and Ozzy and certain musicians. When it comes to celebrating us, we kind of want to step out of the spotlight, because we feel a little bit not uncomfortable, but to get that type of praise and that type of reception is just a little bit too much, but listen, if you want to be the guy that puts that together,
I'll be your Tom.
If you want to be the Tom Morello and God bless Tom Morello for doing that job. That was a hard job. I knew all of those bands, and when I could see the list of people that were going to come and play for Ozzy and Sabbath and thank him, I thought, man, how's Tom going to do this? But he did it. He did it magnificently. So props to Tom Morello and everybody that day. But for Priest, I don't know. It's a great idea.
Yeah, I know it's probably a hard thing to think about, but man, lots of records, lots of roads traveled, and the Priest. I mean, just metal legends. Now you got your own 6-inch action figure that.
Yeah. I don't know about these things. My friends were texting me and they go, I like this action figure I've ordered. What are you talking about? You've got like a McFarlane action figure. I said, oh my God, I do. Do I? Can you please send me a picture of myself, And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to have an action figure of yourself. I'm looking across my room and there's an action figure of Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
He was a friend of mine from Walking Dead. I can't remember whether he sent me that or whoever, but that was one of some that I've collected. And I always thought, I wonder if one day there'll be like a movable, all joints movable, except the prime one, of the metal god, and now it's happened. And that's pretty cool. So if you want to play with your own little metal god, I'm not going to go any further.
You collect a lot of Priest stuff? Are you the guy that collects all that stuff, or?
I've got so much stuff. I've got so much stuff here in the house in Phoenix and in my house in England. I really got to find a place to put it all, you know. Maybe I'll start a Metal God Museum or something. There's just all this stuff that surrounds me. It's mad.
Metal God Museum. Wow, that sounds great. Well, I'll tell you what, Rob, we'll let you go. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. Thanks so much for the time and all the great music over the years. October 2nd here in Pine Knob in Detroit. And, man, I can hardly wait.
It's going to be a great show. It's an event. Alice Cooper, Judas Priest, Corrosion of Conformity. It's a one-off. Don't miss it. It's going to be extra special. Thanks for the chat. I love you, brother. Love you, Detroit. Thanks for looking after Priest and rock and roll and everything. You guys are the backbone. You send out the messages, you send out the music when we're off in different parts of the world. So thank you for what you do for us.
Up next, it's Bruce Dickinson, the legendary singer from Iron Maiden. He's got his solo tour coming up throughout September and October. It just started today as I post this, August 22nd in California. But we talk about the Mandrake Project. We talk about, some things Iron Maiden. We talk about touring, theaters versus stadiums and whatnot. I'm going to tell you this because I think it'd be kind of phony for me not to tell you this. But there was one question I did ask him that the powers that be asked me to take out. And I thought it was actually a great conversation, a great part of the conversation. It was about a certain rock star, and I'll just leave it at that. But they asked me to take it out, and like I said, I thought it was fantastic. But anyhow, that being said, it was still an awesome conversation with Bruce Dickinson. Without further ado, let's get after it with Bruce. Hey, Bruce, how are you?
I'm doing very well, mate.
Good to see you. I've always wanted to ask a rock star this question. I think that you're the appropriate one to ask. What's mightier, the pen or the sword?
Well, I would like to say the pen, but every now and again, you need to take out a sharp implement and point it at somebody. Unfortunately, that's just life.
Yeah, that's right. My nephew's actually a fencing referee or whatever they are. So.
Yeah, really? Oh, that's good. Nobody loves him then. Yeah. Oh, one person loves him, but the other guy's not so sure.
Yeah, that's right. Have you fenced recently?
Yeah, I was training on Tuesday. I'm training tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're still into that. You still love it, huh?
Yeah. It's a kind of a lifelong thing. I'm of an age now that if I do competitions, I do vet competitions, but I mean, there's European championships, there's world championships. In fact, I ended up qualifying because I did the qualifying competitions. I ended up qualifying for the world championships this year in Bahrain, and I can't go.
Oh,
I'm busy. I said, hey, bring me the T-shirt and the box of chocolates, please.
That's great. Well, listen, you're coming through Detroit here on September 25th, the Mandrake Project out, and you got all sorts of stuff happening. And I mean, you tell me the difference. Do you like playing these theaters and stuff? I mean, you're used to playing stadiums.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no comparison. One is one type of thing, one is the other type of thing. So I don't go into a theater going, oh my God, I wish I was playing a stadium. No, I relish the idea of going into a theater. It's great. And the same thing, if I go into a stadium, I don't go, oh, I wish I was playing a theater. No, I'm playing a stadium. That's what you're doing. That's what's in front of you, So I love performing, and I love wherever I am, whether it's 3 people, 300 or 300,000, things change a little bit. Techniques change a little bit from one to the other, but it's still a performance, and you're still trying to do the best thing by everybody there. Yeah, I love it. And we've got the band I've got with me, as the same band that did the tour last year. We did 55 shows together, so we're a crew now. This is not like me standing on the spot and saying, oh, nobody else come within 10 feet of me. Your aura is disturbing my vibe. No, I mean, we're a band. We sweat together, we get messy. And eye contact. It's a great rock and roll band, and we have fun. I mean, we're heavy emotional creatures on stage, so we can play to make you want to jump up and down and pogo. We can play to make you cry, and we can play to put a smile on your face. and hopefully all of those things. So when you leave the show at the end of the evening, we hope we've made your life better.
And I see, you got Tanya from Whitesnake in here. That's super cool. And you talk about the band. It's like not only can you play with them and work with them on stage, but then you got to live with them the rest of the time too. So it's good to have guys you can hang out with. Oh no, absolutely. I mean, we were all hanging out in April, demoing. I mean, we're doing a new album in 26 in right. January, recording it with the same band. So in April and all over Christmas, all over Christmas, as soon as we finished the last tour, and then I was out on tour with Maiden until December, and then they were busy writing stuff and sending it to me. I had 66 tracks of material. Wow. To choose from. And I said, okay, cease and desist. So in April, we had a month together in the studio, and we boiled it all down and created demos, vocals and everything for 18 songs. And now we've just been in the studio for another week, refining them and putting real drums and Tanya and bass parts and everything on there. And then in January, we're going to go and cut the album live. Old school, you know. So I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, and we're a great crew. I mean, it's a great show live. I mean, we've got a video wall. We've got Maiden's sound engineer, Maiden's monitor engineer, Maiden's lighting engineer as well. So and they all love doing it because they love getting their hands dirty in theaters. Rob Coleman on the lights gets to play and go, hey, yeah, that's a weird, look at that structure on stage. If I put a lamp there and blah, 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 I can get a really great effect. So we can kind of do things on the fly in theaters work with what we've got. You know, it's fantastic. It's got, you can improv a little bit there. It's not the same. And it's not the same show every night. You know, like with Maiden, it is. You know, I mean, sure, there were variations on the way this song better one night than it was last night and things like that, you know. But with this band, we're so flexible. We can go, what's the set list today? Let's shift things around a bit. Let's do that. Oh, we haven't done that song for a while. Let's drop that one in there. And, we're playing Boston and New York back to back. Oh, yeah, we should definitely play two different songs so people don't go, oh, I went to both shows and they did the same stuff. Oh, they did something different, you know. We're doing a mixture of songs from Accident at Birth, from Chemical Wedding, from More Balls to Picasso, obviously from Mandrake. And that's frankly more than enough for a full show. And in actual fact, I've got 7 solo albums to pick from. Right. So if I end up doing another, as I will do in probably in 27, end up doing another tour with another album, then I'll still have plenty of songs to pick from those albums, you know, to go and, because there's songs that people go, oh, why haven't you played that song? I said, well, I can't play every single song, you know, you have to wait. We'll do it next time, you know. But Shadow of the Gods, for example, off Mandrake has never been played live until now. So we're going to play that song every night. Because it's a really cool track, and everybody, it's the most requested track off Mandrake. We've not played it, so we're going to do that one every night. We've actually dropped a Maiden song in there. Mm-hmm. You know, we haven't done that like ever, and so I said, you know, we're not a Maiden covers band, but I'm going to do one song, and it'll be a song that I wrote, not. You know, so we're not covering somebody that Adrian wrote with me or Steve or something, you know. And I said, and my wife said, you should do this song X. I went, oh, why? She said, well, nobody's ever played it. You've never played it. Why have you never played that song? I said, well, I don't know. She goes, everybody wants you to play that song. I said, who's everybody? And she's on social media, so she does all this stuff. I don't do social media, right? So I'm like, I have no clue, you know. And so I mentioned it to the band. I said, we should do it. What do you think if we tried to learn this? And they like dogpiled me. I was like, oh my God, that would be amazing. So anyway, next day they'd learnt it and they played it to me instrumentally. I was just like, holy crap. Now let me see if I can still remember how to sing it. So we're gonna do that. And I've got to learn another Maiden one as well, because we're doing a festival in Sao Paulo in the middle of the tour. We dip down to Brazil and then
ping back. It was a huge festival, and it's actually 40 years since I set foot in Brazil.
Yeah, I heard that.
With Rock in Rio. So I thought, well, for the anniversary, what am I going to... I'm going to go down there. I really do have to do a kind of a Maiden track in celebration of the fact that, yeah, look, it's been 40 years. And there was a famous incident where I'd split my head open with the edge of a guitar, blood pouring down my face. That was the image that's still played on national TV now when they talk about Rock in Rio. They use that moment. And that moment was during a song called Revelations, which happened to be a song that I wrote. So I thought, hey, we'll get the band to learn Revelations. And then my wife came in and said, you've got to do this other song. I mean, okay. Well, now I just love it. I'm just like, yes, absolutely. So we're going to play it tomorrow night. And then The Secret will be out and social media will be like, oh, my God, they played that song, you know. So if you want to hear that song, whatever the hell it is, or you might not give a stuff, I don't know, you know. But, yeah, so we'll be dropping that in and out here and there, you know, teasing people a little bit. But it's such a blast on the tour. Such a great fun playing with these guys.
Now, you talk about the demos and stuff and your 8th studio solo album coming out maybe in 2027. Do you ever run the demos by the Iron Maiden guys just to get their opinion or feel them out, or do you just leave it until it's finished?
No, I mean, I ran the demos. I was, funnily enough, because the demos, this is just like with drum machine type demos, they sounded so good. I actually ran them past the record label as well. I said, I came around. My manager, I said, you know, come around the house. I'll just like crack a couple of bottles and we'll listen to this stuff and see what they. And the guy said he was like blown away. And I said, well, just imagine what that's going to sound like with a real band, not just drum machine and Tanya on bass and stuff, and the demo world with the band. I mean, actually, I did it by accident. So I was playing the demos on the Maiden tour, just in one of the backstage offices. To all the Maiden who did the social media and stuff, because I've got an Instagram, you know, Bruce Dickinson HQ, Instagram, blah blah blah, and so all the people who managed all that stuff in the office, they were there, and I said, well, can I play this stuff? So I played it, and they were like, oh my God, you know, I didn't realize, but Steve was in with his physio having his massage in the room next door. So I played for like, you know, there was like an hour or so or plus of this stuff. And he came out and he grabbed hold of me. He goes, that was amazing. He goes, that was the best stuff I've ever heard from you, man. That's cool. You know, I went, oh, wow. Hey, the boss likes it. You know, I mean, so yeah, no, that was great. So, and we have a great vibe in Maiden now. I mean, it's the vibe within the band is immense. It really is. I mean, just as an aside, by the way.
Right. Yeah. I guess did you feel the need? Well, back in the day, I mean, you left Maiden and stuff, but did you feel the need to put out solo stuff?
Not just a need. It's like was it with the Blues Brothers? You know, we put the band back together. You know, we're on a mission from God. You know, I mean, it's that kind of a vibe. You know, there's this feeling that this stuff needs to come out, you know, somehow, and you start working with people and you know, songs come out that you just think, oh my God, that is so cool, we've got to do that, that's got to be done, you know. So it's just like a kind of artistic imperative, you know. I absolutely this is not like I suppose we should do another one. No, you don't go into anything with an attitude like that if you want it to work.
Yeah. So when I found out I was going to be talking to you, I went on my socials and I asked people, I say, what should I ask Bruce Dickinson about? And of course, I've got, you know, a bunch of stuff about the cowbell and when is Iron Maiden playing here, there, and everywhere.
Oh, yeah, well, the cowbell. Don't worry about the cowbell, man. I've got two of them. I do actually. I got two of them. I made sure that we do a kind of a percussion workout on. We do a version of Frankenstein, the old Edgar Winter track. Yeah. So we kind of like at the end of the track Rain on the Graves, which on the record is a fade out. And Dave, the drummer, does it absolutely awesome. It's like a very short, like 2-minute little drum solo that fades out. Instead of a fade out, it kind of fades out into like a drum workout. And then that goes into and of course we've got Mysteria on the guitar, right? Yeah. So we've got 2 guitars, guitar, so we can just do this monster jam on Frankenstein. And of course, there's the bit with the timbales, you know. So I've got 4 timbales there, and I got 2 cowbells, like, you know. And so I had to have more cowbell, even though that's not me, that's the producer, you know. But it's a joke on a joke, right? But then I thought, well, let's go the whole hog. And I actually, one of the things I have at home is a theremin. So I have a Bob Moog built theremin, yeah, we do a theremin solo against the drums and the everything, you know. So we have the drums, theremin, guitar, everything else going at the end, and then we have 2 giant Japanese drums, enormous, big red things, the size of like beer barrels, you know. And and I just got them. I said, let's just buy these 2 things and then just bring them on stage and see what the heck they sound like. And they sound monstrous. You play them with like broomsticks. I mean, they're big, like yeah. So that's the kind of stuff we get up to on stage, which is kind of fun. We've got a big video wall as well, so we've got stuff. And I mean, our you know, as I said, our sound engineer is Maiden's sound engineer. The monitor engineer is Maiden's monitor engineer. And Rob Coleman, who does the Maiden out front, you know, videos and the lights and everything. He's our lighting guy.
Well, Bruce, my time is up, but I really appreciate the time. Like I said, the Fillmore, September 25th, the Mandrake Project's out. More balls to Picasso. You got the graphic novel, the comics. You got Comic-Cons coming up, man. You're a busy guy.
I do. I'm doing a Horror Hound in Cincinnati there, and I'm doing MonsterCon in LA because the first hardback edition of the Mandrake Project comic is out September 11, and it's the first 4 episodes. But we do have. I'm actually carrying like 400 books on the tour, so we're doing 20 books at every show, first come first served, which will be signed and also signed with the actual venue or the location, you know, wherever we're at. So and the only way you can get that is you got to be there, you know. So people won't be able to fake that, you know.
Yeah, that's September 25th here in Detroit at the Fillmore. So, hey, safe travels. Thanks for all the time. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the music and all the years of music. I've been in this business 35 years. I've played many a Bruce Dickinson Iron Maiden song for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm, you know, Detroit Rock City. It was named that way for a reason, you know.
I appreciate that. Thanks so much, Bruce.
Cheers, man.
This is one of those episodes where if you were to tell me as like a 14 or 15-year-old kid that not only would you be talking with Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden and Rob Halford from Judas Priest, but you would have interviewed them several times in your career. I'd have been like, no, that can't be. I can remember, you know, walking around my neighborhood with my boombox on my shoulder, just cranking Priest and Iron Maiden and Sabbath and all these bands that I love and play and have had a chance to interact with. Even, you know, through meet and greets or, you know, through interviews and different things like that. But it's just like a childhood dream come true. Hope you guys appreciate this podcast. If you do, 5-star reviews are always appreciated. Leave a comment as well. And check it out at WRIF.com as we got the video of this interview up also. I'm Meltdown. Thank you so much for checking out Talkin' Rock. Oh, here's the guy with the big voice to tell you the same thing.
Thank you for listening to Talkin' Rock with Meltdown. You can help this podcast grow by giving it a 5-star rating and writing a review on Apple and iTunes. Plus, feel free to subscribe and share it with your friends. Until next time, thanks for listening to Talkin' Rock.
Hi, Hi there, my name is Melissa Iannuzzo. I'm a 30-year radio veteran and big-time fan of the law. Chris Brown is an entertainment attorney with 27 years experience, and together we're bringing you our new podcast, Verdicts and Vibes. Each week we'll break down the most high-profile celebrity and pop culture cases and trials in ways the average person like me can understand. We'll have special guests and take your legal questions. New episodes of Verdicts and Vibes every Thursday. Download and subscribe wherever you stream your podcasts.